Well, hi there. Today is finally here, and I'm so excited. We get to turn our 10 by 10 study that we did not too long ago into a monster 24 by 48 piece. I hope you're here to have some fun. Let's take a look. Now, ordinarily, we use the grid method to transfer our reference material onto the canvas, but because this canvas is so large, I've opted to use my projector to portray the image onto the canvas. That way the tracing is a little bit easier. I've also opted to use a charcoal pencil for this, as it shows up the best in low light situations. Some within the artist community might consider using a projector to be cheating of sorts, but I have no problem using one, especially with a piece this size. If I want to get the scene down exactly how I want to paint it, then the quickest way to do so is to use a projector. Using a projector to project your reference material onto the canvas is quite easy. It's simple, just trace the lines that you want to see on your canvas, and then if you're ever in doubt, you can hold up your hand and block the light coming out, and you can see exactly where you have traced already and what you still need to do. The final step I like to do is to spray the entire image with a workable fixed tip. That way none of your marks that you've made on the canvas will be lost when you either choose to move on to straight painting or when you want to tone your canvas. Because this canvas is only 3/4 inch, I generally won't paint the sides on something that small, so I'll block off the area with some painter's tape. That way we get a nice crisp edge in case it ever wants to be displayed as it is. And while it's not exactly needed to do so for your paintings, I generally would like to tone the canvas. That way I block out that stark white canvas into a little bit natural tone. I generally will use a mixture of raw sienna and Gamsol, just a thin mixture that you can spread on as a wash. Once I've got the canvas completely covered with the light wash of sienna, I'll come back through with just an old rag or t-shirt material, wipe it back to the point where I'm comfortable with the coloring. I got a good tone on the canvas, but yet it's not overbearing. Before we get over to painting the actual larger canvas, let me just talk about studies for a second. Studies are a great tool that we artists use for painting larger pictures when we need to practice maybe the color mixing or maybe the depth, the shadows and the lights. I don't need to go looking for it on the larger canvas once I've got my reference photo traced out. I just need to practice what I did here onto a larger canvas and it'll relate the same. Studies are a great tool for artists. I suggest you try one today. In this video we won't get into the color mixes, as I've already done so in the study example. If you're curious as to the colors that I'm using, make sure you check out the link for the complete study and the color mixing guide. As we get started with the background on our piece, it goes without saying that I've had to set aside the small brushes for the time being and pick up some of the larger size brushes. In this particular piece I'll be using some larger flats, some brights, and some filbert brushes. I hate to interrupt your video, but I just want to share some information with everyone. At the time of creating this video, we're sitting at about 429 subscribers. And in a way to give back to the community, when we hit 500 subscribers, I'm going to be giving away a limited edition print. That's a giclée quality print. And all you need to do is comment on this video. Comment whatever you like, hit the like button. And when we hit 500, I'll select from everybody who made the comments and I'll get in touch with you for a free giclée print. Now back to the video. I've said it once before, but it definitely bears saying again, as this is just the block-in phase of this initial painting. We're just focusing on general shapes, colors, depth of this wave area here. If we can get the colors where they go according to our reference, then as we move on to the different phases of the painting, it'll be much easier to graduate to the next level. As I previously stated in the beginning of the video, as we move down to the foreground area, from our study we know that this was one of the trickier areas of the scene. I'm going to pay special attention to my drawing to get the colors where they need to be. I know that during the study there was some issues with getting it to read correctly. So just take a little extra time when you're doing your block-in phase to ensure that those colors go down right. That way when we move on to the next phase, it'll be much easier. One of the great things about painting the way I do and the process that I go about making pictures is that there's always different layers that are going to be applied on top of each other. So during this block-in, it's good to get the colors exactly where they need to be. However, you don't exactly have to get the colors picture perfect. There will be phases later on to where we can narrow those colors down exactly to where they need to be. So you can always change it. Don't emphasize on specific colors at this point. Just get the colors where they need to be. Well, that about does it for this video. Hopefully we've enjoyed ourselves with this block-in phase. Just remember that we're looking for big shapes, colors, not looking for specific things, just building our way up to the next phase, which will be modeling. As you can tell, I've done a little bit of work since the recording of this video, but we'll save that for the next go around. Don't forget, we're giving away that free giclée print at 500 subscribers. So make sure you comment anything you would like in the comments section. Hit that like bell, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, I'd love to have you as part of the community. We're all here to have fun, maybe learn something along the way. And until next time, happy painting.